Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I do unboxings here, mostly lifestyle subscription boxes, but also some stationery, books, beauty, jewelry, and even a dash of Disney. So if you like unboxings, I do hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell. As always, if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for being here and welcome back. Today I have my August Once Upon a Book Club adult selection to share with you. Now the adult subscription comes in this cute pink box that is decorated like a book. They also have a young adult subscription that comes in a green box. They now have a classics edition that comes in a blue box. They do fun seasonal one-time boxes and even an advent box. So they have all kinds of things going on over at Once Upon a Book Club. Now the monthly subscription is normally $34.99 per month plus $10 in shipping. Obviously, if you do a little bit of a longer subscription, you can save a little bit of money, but I really like going month to month now so that I get those hints to tell me what the next book is going to be about to decide if I want to stay subscribed. I have a couple of ways for you to save some money too. You can use mauinoel 10 to save 10%, or you can use the link that I will leave in the description box below to save $5. Either way, you decide what makes more sense for you. Now, some of you might be a little bit surprised to see this subscription box still on my channel based on some of the Instagram stories that I posted a couple of weeks ago. We were just having some issues because they have sort of changed their stance on the referral program. No fault of Once Upon a Book Club. It's just some of the parameters, some of the limitations of having their referral program through the Cratejoy platform, but they went ahead and made it right. So we'll go with their new referral program rules moving forward. So there is no love lost. I still think this is a fabulous subscription box. I think it is very unique in the book subscription world because as you read the books that they select for you, not only do they have discussion questions and opportunities to interact with the author and obviously other readers, as you read along, you get to certain pages and it tells you to open a corresponding gift. So it's really bringing the pages of that book to life. So I do think that that is very unique. I haven't seen any other book subscriptions that do it quite in that way, where it's actually going to be items that you could imagine being from the novel. So let's get into it. I'll show you a little bit more. So this particular one came bulging with so much stuff in it. And inside, it's just got this kind of cute lining, and they kind of changed it up. It used to be more of a skinnier brochure, and now we've got this like nice big brochure, like magazine size, but inside it's kind of the same contents. It does tell us a little bit about the author, like they did a little interview with the author of the book, which I thought was cool. They have discussion questions, they have like read-along dates, and obviously if you are subscribed to this book subscription and you haven't gotten to this book yet, I would say to go ahead and put pause on this video and not watch any further so that you don't get any spoilers. I will be showing you all of the gifts that we received. I won't necessarily be ruining the plot though, because we won't go into too much depth. I'll just read little excerpts that have to do with each of the gifts. Now, they usually include a quote card, and so that was also right on the top. And it says, "Don't worry what other people think, be who you want to be," which I think is a great quote. And I actually just kind of rediscovered it in this moment. I forgot about that moment in the book. And the book for August was The Daughters of Foxcote Manor. So it looks intriguing, does it not, with all of the ivy growing over those brick walls. So this was a fantastic, not quite thriller, but it was definitely a little bit of a mystery. And I really enjoyed it. It's written from 3 different points of view, and it's one of those kind of fun things where there's a lot of stuff that happens in the past, there's a lot of like current day stuff, so you're kind of piecing it together and trying to figure out how all of the characters are connected. I had figured out most of the connections about 2/3 of the way through, so there were no like really big twists and turns, but it was really interesting to see how she brought it all together, and it was a really captivating story. I was really frustrated because I started this book like right when I received the box, and just because of work and other commitments I wasn't able to complete it until like a week later. But once I really dived into it, it was like 2 days max I think you need with this book because you will get really engaged with it. So let's see what else we've got. We've got a little letter from the author, which they have been doing more of, and I think the last like 2 or 3 book boxes I've gotten from Once Upon a Book Club, we've gotten a nice letter, and this time it came on a nice like postcard, which I think is great because in the past it's been like on a bigger piece of paper, and this way I can actually keep it either with the quote card or I can slip it right into the pages of the book to just have it on hand. So it says, "Dear readers, the Daughters of Foxcote Manor has had quite a journey from a scrawl of scribbled ideas in my notepad to your Once Upon a Book Club box. I'm honored it's been selected as your read this month and hope it takes you on a thrilling journey too, whisking you away into its lush and mysterious world. The Daughters of Foxcote Manor is a dual timeline story set between the present day and the early 70s, or the olden days as my children call it, and centered on a crumbling house, Foxcote Manor, tucked away in one of England's wildest, most ancient forests. The Harrington family retreat to Foxcote to get over a tragedy in London, taking with them their children's loyal nanny, Big Rita, and a mountain of emotional baggage. When a baby girl is abandoned outside the house's gates, she's furtively, lovingly brought inside and hidden. It'll take another generation and one feisty woman in particular to unpick the tangle of secrets caused by this fateful decision. All this is a long way of saying The Daughters of Foxcote Manor is a story about family, the ones you create without blood ties and the ones you must escape to survive. It's also a love letter to those wild spaces we go to lose and find ourselves, which feel more important than ever. In these difficult times, there's a simple solace to be found in nature, each other, and of course, stories. I love hearing from readers, so do feel welcome to come and say hello, and feel free to ask any questions about the book, writing, or anything else. I'd also be enormously grateful if anyone has a spare moment to write a review. So fair, but it's great because in that she really kind of did the little blurb, the little teaser for us, so I don't have to read the back of the book to you. But it was a great book, and that is really the themes of the book is family and what constitute family. And as someone who is adopted, I'm definitely someone who believes it is much more nurture than nature that determines who your true family is. And I did love that aspect of the book. So let's go through it. Now, there were actually 3 gifts, but then there were like 2 other sticky notes in the book, and I thought it was kind of neat the way they did it, because in the past I've been sort of frustrated when one of the gifts is what I like to call a paper gift, where it's like if there's a letter in the book, then they just actually print it out and put it in an envelope so you get the experience of opening the letter. But for me, that was just kind of wasteful because I could already read the letter obviously on the pages of the book. So they've been kind of moving a little bit away from that in the last few boxes, and I super duper appreciate that. I would rather have fewer but quality items versus like a bunch of little things that I don't know what to do with after the fact. So let's go ahead and flip to the first gift, and I believe that was on page 67. So this book was really like well made too. Sometimes when it's a paperback, I find that like you don't want to break the spine of it, but this one like opened up really nicely and I didn't have to break the spine, so I just a functional thing. I appreciated it. So for example, here we are on this page, and sometimes when you're supposed to open the gift at the bottom, it's just like a little sliver of a sticky note. But let me see what it says. It says, I rotate the terrarium to admire it from a different angle, and that's when I see it, a miniature house the size of a matchbook, rendered in resin, tucked inside a mossy hollow. It changes the scale of everything. The ferns become trees, the stone a boulder, and my unease solidifies into something else. Once I see the forest, I can't unsee it. And the forest definitely is like a character in this book. So this box was fit inside of the pink box. It was what was kind of making it bulge, but here you can see they actually do such a lovely job with the packaging as well. This is printed on here. It says page 67, so you know what to open. And then obviously you can probably tell from that excerpt that I read, we did get a terrarium, which I think is such a cool item to get. Let me just pull out the base of it. So this is like a different kind of terrarium than I'm used to. Like these days you see a lot of the like blown glass ones where you put things in from the top, but this one has a wood base and then it's got this dome. So I always think of these as like, you can see like clocks are sometimes in these, anniversary clocks. So I would need to get like a little round, like 2-inch pot so that I could put some gravel and like some kind of little terrarium in there, some kind of plant. So I'm not sure what I will do for the photos over on Instagram. Maybe I'll have to be creative because I don't have any like little tiny plants to put in there quite yet, but I'm sure I can find one. But they did just kind of show us like, here is an example of Rita's terrarium. So it's a little like bonsai plant in there. So I'm just gonna stick that in there so you guys kind of get the idea. But this is it. Again, you can't like necessarily put stuff in it from the top and then close it up. You have to just have another pot inside. So, but it is really nice, and I'm very happy that it didn't shatter. It was pretty well packed in there, and I think it helped that it couldn't move around in the box. So let's continue. And it was nice. They did include a little bookmark, but I have so many fun bookmarks from other subscriptions and everything, so I didn't necessarily need that. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. So the next one was on page 150, and this was not an actual gift. This was like an insert, and it was kind of a paper one, but it's not one that was already in the book itself. So I loved this because it's an actual like newspaper clipping, and you can see it's just like an image of the forest, and it really is like on newspaper, so it has that kind of faded effect. And there are newspaper clippings that someone in the book has saved, so I loved having that visual. This was such a cinematic book. Like I can totally imagine this being made into a fantastic movie. I wonder if they're thinking of doing that, but it was great to, you know, I like to create the images in my own head, but I also love when I get a little like confirmation with an actual image. And then let's see what else we've got. So the next actual gift, I believe, was on page 182. So here we go. We got the open your gift, and then it says, let's see. And then I realized she's on the other side of the blanket, no longer scratching at the wicker basket, but on the opposite far edge, on her front, her toes digging into the grass. The baby has moved. Now, so I was really glad because they did describe this picnic blanket, which is what we got in here, and it came in this like plastic bag, this little like mailer. So they did describe it as a picnic blanket that had like a bunch of holes in it. So I was like, I hope that it's not really lifted from the pages of the book, then we're not getting like a, you know, a picnic blanket with holes. But and then it came in plastic. But no, we did not get one with holes. It's nice and new. It's this nice like waxed canvas, and it's got a little carrying handle, which I think is so great. And I love this checked pattern, this kind of plaid, which I think we would call like palaka in Hawaii. So it's got like a Velcro closure, and then you can open it up and you can see it just kind of folds out, and then it opens in both directions. So I'm not going to open it up now because it is pretty big. So again, it has that nice like kind of a waxed feeling to it. So it's going to be nice and waterproof or resistant at least. So you could put it on like a forest floor or even just whatever park, and the grass moisture isn't going to like seep up onto you. So I thought this was really cute, very compact. It's very weighty because it is made of really durable canvas. So what a great useful item, and again, lifted right from the pages of the book. And then we got another fun feature, and this was totally different, something completely new that we haven't had, at least since I've been subscribed, which I think has probably been like 6 months or so, maybe even longer than that. Let me see, I think the next one wasn't all the way until page 337. So I'm trying not to miss it, but it is towards the end of the book. So I thought this was so cool, you guys. Here's the Post-it, and it had a QR code. And in the book, they're trying to sort of jog someone's memory, and they go to the forest where a lot of crazy stuff happened, and they make a recording. So then this QR code actually takes you to like, I think it's like an hour long, but it's a YouTube video where you just hear the sounds of a forest with a woodpecker, which is like one of the characteristics of this particular forest that's in the book. And I just thought that was so fantastic. Not only did we get a visual, but we also got to add to another sense and have like an audible addition to the book to heighten the experience of reading it. And it was something that was done in the book as well. They did make a recording, so I thought that was a fantastic touch. And that is not a tangible gift or a paper gift. It was just something totally different. So kudos to Once Upon a Book Club for adding that little effect in there. I thought that was so cool when I got to it. Although I admit, like, I wish that I had had it like earlier in the book, even though it makes sense in the actual plot to not get it until this point when the actual recording is made. But I would have loved to have had it. I probably should have just like sneaked a peek and flipped through the pages just to get myself in that foresty mood. Then the final gift came on the final page, which has kind of been the case with a lot of the books lately, just as a lot of the books have been based in the UK or had English characters. So it came all the way at the very end, so we had like a good space to go. And then let's see if I can read this to you. So it says, honestly, if there's one thing I've learned these last few months, Mum, it's that I'm so your daughter, no one else's, just like Annie's mine and Poppy is Annie's. She starts the engine and the car bucks and then starts to growl. So not much to go on there, but she gets to drive this fancy car at the end. The car doesn't have like a huge place in the novel, but she had to use some car keys to do that. So in this cute little box, which I love all of the design, it's just like those little extra touches, right? That they actually design a box where they print the page numbers on it. Although sometimes the boxes and stuff are so pretty that I wish it didn't have the page numbers, just as like when they have things actually made, I like it better when it doesn't say Once Upon a Book Club, just because then in case I want to regift it to someone, then it doesn't seem strange to have a page number on it or the book subscription on it. So inside, this is beautiful. It is a keychain, and it's a nice keychain. It's got a little tassel here. It's also got a little clip as well as the regular key ring. And then it has this beautiful silver tree design, and you can kind of see it almost looks like it'd be wire wrapped, but I think they actually just glued those stones on there. So I think that's amazing. I think it would actually make a really cool, like super big statement necklace pendant if that's the kind of jewelry that you wear. But this is really, really nice, very, very well made. I will definitely take some pictures for you guys over on Instagram. But what a nice surprise. And of course, it's not about the car that makes this such a special piece, but it's really about the forest and how it's brought all of these people together and sort of kept a lot of mysteries, but also really been something that's affected people well into later in their lives. So it just says the same little quote that I read to you. It says, this is a Tree of Life keychain. We've got the keys to the, unfortunately we didn't get keys to a Porsche, which is the case in the book, but I thought that was lovely. It's a really pretty piece. It doesn't necessarily say Once Upon a Book Club on it. It doesn't even say like the title of the novel on it. So it's definitely something you can use in your own life. So again, I thought this was a really solid box in terms of the gifts, and that's usually how I kind of judge it. Most of the time the books are great. I did really enjoy this book, but I thought those 3 gifts were very unique, not necessarily the kinds of things that you receive in subscription boxes a lot. I've never gotten a terrarium before. I've gotten picnic blankets, but none quite like that, and it definitely fit with the book. And then of course I love that they kind of brought everything together with that beautiful tree symbol there on the keychain, which again is something that is functional and beautiful, which you guys know that's what I'm always looking for in subscription boxes. Let me know what you thought about this box. If you read the book, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you appreciated this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I would truly, truly appreciate it. And hopefully I see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.